I'm here with Andy Willcox, who is the industry globetrotter consultant for the AV industry. You're now around the world consulting for different firms. Maybe you can give us your views of the different positioning in the different markets, from the U.S. where we are today, to Europe where we were last time, to Asia, and maybe through the Pacific zone.
Why don't we just hit each continent except for Antarctica? Don't know what's going on there. Well, certainly, we just finished a pretty significant trade show here in Denver, CEDIA's second show, 2007. It appeared to me to be very successful.
Yep.
I do know that there was a presence from all over the world, and we should probably address each one of the territories separately. We'll do that real briefly. Starting out with Europe, as everyone knows, Integrated Systems Europe has become a very compelling and powerful show. 5 years ago, 4 years ago, there were a couple thousand people. This year it should exceed 20,000.
Yep.
And I know they have a projected growth rate of over 40% of show floor space, and I think it's going to go higher.
Yeah, they actually got an extra hall, so they're up to 7 halls now.
It's very exciting, and Amsterdam is always a fun city to go to, as we all know. Grasshopper. Anyway, I think that you're seeing a lot of evolution in Europe. Certainly in the Benelux countries, there's more of it. We're actually working closely with some companies over there. The Iberica area along the Mediterranean coast, Italy, it's doing pretty well. UK is a hotbed, it always has been, but CEDIA has a chapter there, so we have a great relationship with them. And even the Germans are starting to get more interested in the integration components of what's going on. And surprisingly enough, Eastern European is getting pretty powerful too. The old Eastern Bloc countries, there's a lot of it going on there, and we've actually been providing education in that area.
Well, the ISC is doing their roadshow there.
The ISC is doing their educational roadshow in Eastern Europe. Certainly there's always been an active community in Russia. We have a lot of good friends there, but it's still in the growth process. But we had a nice contingent from Russia here at the show this year, so it was great to see them. It always is. And then you're starting to see more development around the Black Sea and in Turkey and places like that. Moving on, obviously the hottest place in the world right now is the Middle East, and it's very compartmentalized because you're dealing with the Emirates being led by Dubai.
Yep.
But you also have cities like Abu Dhabi, which is the actual capital of the Emirates, and there's a lot of wealth there and a lot of interest. Qatar has been huge. There's a lot of MDU projects going on over there.
A lot of high-end installations
very
there.
Very high-end, and also multifamily, because there's developments where you have 10, 20, 30,000 units going up, which is staggering. Saudi Arabia, certain areas of Saudi Arabia are hot, Bahrain, so it's on fire over there. The primary African contingent comes from South Africa. There were a lot of them present here. I met a number of people. It's growing fast. Technology is being adopted quickly down there. Rest of Africa is obviously going to be a crapshoot because, there's different economies of scale, and you look in one country, the next day it has a different name, so you don't know what to expect.
But in South Africa, actually, CEDIA, the UK chapter, has done some training down there, too.
They have.
So there is an interest, and it is growing.
Right, there's going to be growth.
We're moving that up now.
And I think they'll move along the coasts as well. I think you'll probably see more action along the Mediterranean as time goes by, probably even in Egypt. But at this point, there's not much of a presence there. Jumping across the South Atlantic, South America, from what I understand, there were about 170 people from Brazil here, which was very nice because we've worked with them in the past, but it wasn't successful. But CEDIA has been running training in Brazil and Argentina and Chile, because those are three very powerful areas with quite a bit of disposable income and wealth. So that seems to be what drives this. So South America is developing and evolving, and Latin America too, of course. Our neighbors in Mexico, a lot of good friends from Mexico.
There are a lot of people from Mexico here.
And obviously our neighbors to the north, Canada, it's a pretty healthy community up there. Australia, I attended the CEDIA EXPO show at the end of July, and it grew, and it's fun. There's 2,500 people showing up, 200 dealers, and the growth is tremendous. It's amazing because the country's total population is about the size of greater LA. So the passion and what I see going on down there and the technology is pretty interesting.
Well, the training is
training's great down there. A lot of education. In fact, I did a lot of the training myself down there. Actually did some project management training. It was a lot of fun. Then you have the big enchilada, China. How's that one going to work? I don't know. Certainly, the major metropolitan areas, Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and then the former colony of Hong Kong and Macau are developing quickly. And we all know China's on fire. We know it's a rocket ship taking off. And there's huge amounts of disposable income. And even more importantly, interest in luxury goods. You go to Beijing or Shanghai, you see Ferrari dealerships, Rolls-Royce, Mercedes, all the high-end designer clothing lines.
So they got the money, but is the training to the level of the installation?
Absolutely not. In fact, one of the biggest issues we have with the Chinese communities are there are not a lot of qualified people to deliver the service. And that's because it just hasn't quite caught on. But I have met hobbyists over there, individuals who had the disposable income. Every one of them had a home theater in their house. So it's pretty cool. I can see the writing on the wall.
It's moving, but
We've
it's
got our work cut out for us.
We've got a lot of
CEDIA
training.
is still participating on a licensing level with the IS China show with Infocom. So it's making progress, Bob.
Okay, and India?
You know, we were going to have a show there, but there were some reasons why we didn't. I'm sure some of them are geopolitical reasons. But if you look at Bangalore and you look at Mumbai, the growth there is tremendous. The wealth there is tremendous. And I think it'll eventually gravitate. I think UK is probably going to drive that one. Anywhere that's a former colony, we generally have UK work with them, with the exception of Australia, because they send all their criminals down there, all my buddies.
Andy, thank you very much for this extensive overview. We'll be looking forward to seeing you back in Europe very soon.
Absolutely.
I'm working.
My pleasure. I'll catch you on somewhere else.
Alan City Now TV.
All right, Robert.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye, Citadel.
Take care. Thank you.